Hello guys, welcome to the channel. This week in the McLaren GT4 on the Hungaroring for the IMPC Pilot Challenge. And just a general comment about the Hungaroring, it has quite a few off tracks, so I'm going to be pointing out those as well to avoid your safety rating from plummeting. So starting the lap on the left hand side, heading towards the first brake marker, and that is that little hill right there. And once it is behind this pole in your car, you start braking in and you move towards the curb and start braking on the curb as well. Turning quite late and shift back to second gear. Don't go too far on the right hand side on the concrete because that's the first off track, and watch out for the astroturf on the left side because there's the second off track. So get the car to the right and brake right after you pass the 100-meter sign, and you turn in a little bit later, so you don't want to squeeze the corner in the beginning. So turn in late and then shift back to third gear and build up the throttle. Get the car on the curb to get the car to turn a little bit better. Get it to the left and then as far away to the right as possible. Cut this corner. Don't overdo it because there's another track off track right there. And don't go too far on the astroturf on the left because there's an off track there as well. Heading to the fast left-hander, you start braking in once you pass the left sign on the 100. So braking in, shift back to fourth gear in the middle of the corner. Cut this corner as well. Don't overdo it because there's another off track. And then let the car roll wide for a little bit, but don't go too far to the right because there's another off track. So once you're off this curb, you start braking again because that's not really a good brake marker. So you get the car off the curb and then you start braking in again. And it's really trail braking it in, keeping a tight line, shift back to third gear and build up the throttle quite quickly because the track will widen out a bit. And you see me on the telemetry holding off a bit, and that is to avoid hitting this off track on the left hand side. If you go on the curb, it's fine. If you go over it, then you get the off track. Then heading towards the chicane, I start braking in on this concrete patch. Then I go to the left and brake on the curb, shift back to third gear. Don't go back to second because it will cost you time. Just trust me on this one, keep it in third. Cut this corner as well. Don't overdo it because there's an off track on the inside. And once you cut that corner, you go as fast as possible to the left. And you want to cut this for quite a bit as well, but don't overdo it again because there's an off track again. So you build up the throttle, go all the way to the right. And once you're 20 meters in front of that sign, which we just passed, the Rolex sign, you start braking in again and trail braking it through the corner. Go all the way to the left and turn it a little bit later than you expect. Get the car on this little concrete stone, which is right there. Don't go too far on the right because there's an off track on the inside. But then again, you do this because there's an off track on the left hand side, which is way worse than it is on the right. So you're gonna sacrifice this exit. Try to get as far right as possible so you can go full throttle for this corner. Then you start braking once you pass this sign on the left. So you start braking in again on the curb and you just keep doing that. Just keep on braking on the curb. You want to use the whole track. So turn in, you can turn in quite quickly. And then in the middle of the corner, build up the throttle, but be safe on the exit because this off track is really horrendous. So keep the right side of the car on the white line and then you should be fine. Move towards the one of the last hairpins. Basically, I start braking once I am at the 100-meter sign, braking in quite hard and braking in on the curb again. Also here, keep it in third gear and cut the course. Watch out that you don't overdo it on the middle or on the inside and don't overdo it on the left. But keep it in third gear because it will avoid the traction control from kicking in. So just keep it in third and you will lose less time on the exit. And this is a double apex. So you turn in the car and once you're in the middle of the corner, you start turning in a little bit more. And again, you see me hitting the curb slightly and it's just to get the car to turn. And on telemetry, you can see I build up the throttle and then I dialed it down a notch because it was the traction control kicking in. So avoid that. Go on the throttle, let the car roll out to the right and then try to get a sharp line on this one. So you go in the middle of the corner and once you're in the middle of the corner, you turn in a little bit more so you're closing back to the curb. Build up the throttle and there's an off track on the left hand side here as well, but this one is way more forgiving than the others are on track. So use this. So if your left front is not over this white line on the left, you should be fine. So use that. so you take as much speed as possible on the start-finish straight. So the lap I did was a 151.123. It was 26 degrees. The track state was 50%. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you like the videos, obviously subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later I'll catch you guys next week. Cheers, guys.